There's been a lot of chatter about some shocking tapes involving Diddy, and it's seeming like things are getting messier by the day. Someone even reached out to a lawyer asking for help in selling one of these tapes, and the contents are wild. Let's be clear, this isn't the first time Diddy's name has been dragged into scandalous territory, but what's making the rounds now is nothing short of jaw-dropping. You might have heard about a recent accuser bringing up serious allegations against Diddy, but what's even more unexpected is Beyoncé's name getting pulled into the drama. Even though there's no solid proof against her, her name keeps popping up in conversations. It seems that just because her husband, Jay-Z, is known to be close friends with Diddy, folks on the internet are speculating left, right, and center that Beyoncé must know something. With social media being what it is, this kind of rumor is spreading like wildfire. Things took an even more dramatic turn when whispers started about a certain tape allegedly being shopped around in media circles. And this isn't just any tape. It supposedly got footage of Diddy and Beyoncé. Media outlets are reportedly bidding millions to get their hands on it, with rumors suggesting that TMZ is one of the highest bidders right now. This tape is said to be explosive, and if it ever gets out, it could cause a huge storm for all the celebrities involved. Trust me, the list of names being thrown around isn't small. A batch of photos from one of these notorious freak-off parties leaked a couple days ago, and they've already got people buzzing. The photos show several big-name celebrities in some pretty compromising situations. In one image, Diddy is seen pouring champagne on two people while they're getting a little too comfortable for his entertainment. Another photo shows one of Diddy's friends in a pool getting quite intimate with two escorts. Let's just say it wasn't a PG-rated moment. And if you think that's wild, hold on to your hat, because these photos feature some of Hollywood's biggest names. We're talking about the likes of Kim Kardashian, Paris Hilton, Chris Brown, Leonardo DiCaprio, and more. There's even talk that politicians like Barack Obama, Donald Trump, and British royalty like Prince Harry were somehow caught up in all this. Naturally, the internet went crazy over these pictures, but according to insiders, this is just the tip of the iceberg. What's really sending shockwaves through the industry is this alleged footage involving Beyoncé and Diddy, which is reportedly going to be released soon.
You've said that you've been contacted regarding the sale of one of the Diddy freak-off tapes, and that it features a very high-profile celebrity. What can you tell us about that?
So actually, I recently was contacted by one of my business partners who's also an attorney, who said to me, well, why are we not writing the demand letter to try to do the catch and kill? And I said, well, if you want to do it, then I'll connect you and you can essentially do it. He was also concerned about wanting to protect the other person who was in the film, mainly because I've known about this for about 3.5 weeks to about a month. I've been communicating with these people who purport to have that videotape. And it wasn't until Thursday night that they outright said, can you write on your letterhead a letter to the individual who's also in the tape and see if they're interested in a catch and kill? And is that something we'll give you X amount of percentage of it? And at the time I was like, I don't think I want to be involved in this, but I hadn't had time to process. But the other attorney I'm speaking of, he's pretty much been in the know the entire time since I first got contacted by these individuals with the tape. And we're pursuing now a meeting with the three of us for us to broker, I guess, a situation where we'll have certain guarantees that once we make the representations to the person in the tape, that we have some level of assurances that this is a valid tape.
And just to be clear, two thoughts about this. One, is it a household name that we're talking about here? And secondly, are they engaged in any criminality from what you understand?
Household name, very much so. More of a household name than Mr. Combs.
Wow,
And
really?
criminality, they are engaged in pornography. They're not doing anything illegal per se. I can't say that well, I'll say this. My concern was that I could not verify the age of the individual. And so that was my concern about not having anything sent to me and viewing it in the way that I did via stills, via FaceTime video. So I didn't want to have anything in my phone because my issue is we can't determine if this person is 17 to 20.
So how did this whole mess come to light? It all started when a lawyer named Ariel Mitchell appeared in an interview dropping some bombshell revelations. She is currently representing a new client who is suing Diddy over some very serious accusations. The client claims she met Diddy in 2018 at a friend's house after having a few drinks, which she says were spiked by Diddy. She began to feel sick and eventually passed out. What she says happened next is deeply disturbing. Diddy allegedly assaulted her with an object and then instructed another man who was there to assault her as well while he watched and pleased himself. Even worse, Diddy's assistant, Christina Karam, was reportedly present in the room during the entire ordeal. According to Ariel, the client escaped by regaining consciousness and running out of the house, screaming for help. A neighbor heard her cries, took her in, and called the police. However, despite filing a police report, it seems like nothing was ever done. The police, it appears, were not eager to pursue the case, and many believe this was because Diddy had the power to make things disappear. This isn't the first time we've heard about powerful figures paying off officials to cover up shady dealings, and this whole case sounds eerily similar. What's particularly troubling is that Diddy wasn't just some random celebrity at the time. He was still riding high in his career, a major figure in the music industry. It's understandable that this young woman from Northern California might have felt like she didn't stand a chance against someone with that kind of influence. She didn't go public with her story, didn't hire a lawyer right away, and didn't push for a thorough investigation, hoping the police would take care of it. Sadly, it seems like they brushed her off, which is something we hear all too often in cases involving victims up against powerful men. This brings us to an even bigger issue: the way victims, especially women, are often treated when they report such crimes. In the interview, Ariel made a point about how many victims hesitate to go to the police because they feel they won't be believed or protected. In many cases, police officers, who are typically men, don't take these kinds of accusations seriously. Instead of investigating, they might dismiss the claims, making victims feel like there's no point in coming forward at all. It's a vicious cycle that needs to change, but this story makes it clear we still have a long way to go. Now back to the real shocker. Ariel also mentioned that someone reached out to her to represent them in the sale of one of these infamous tapes involving Diddy. According to Ariel, she was shown the video, and it features a very high-profile celebrity, someone even more famous than Diddy. What's more, it seems like the person in the tape had no idea they were being recorded. The situation is extremely concerning, to say the least.
I was at a party at Diddy crib in LA. This was the beginning of 2020. You know what I mean? Diddy had put everybody else out the crib, like the influx of people, he had put them out. But he had took a liking to me in particular around the time, man. It was really, you know what I mean, like putting his arm around me.
Right.
So he had put majority of the people out, but he allowed me to stay in there.
Mm-hmm.
Me and, you know, maybe about 15 others, you know,
right.
Jay-Z and Beyoncé being, you know, two of the other 15 people in the room. So that'll just put into perspective of the type of company I was in
right.
at the moment, you know. And she came over and introduced herself to me like as if she had to.
Right.
Beyoncé, cut it out. But I'm a big fan of your work, you know what I'm saying? Whoop the whoop, and that was just dope. That was dope as hell to me, man. That was dope. That was super dope.
Ariel didn't explicitly reveal who the celebrity in the tape was, but based on the way the rumors have been flying, many people are speculating that it's Beyoncé. This isn't the first time people have speculated about her connection to Diddy, especially after the viral video surfaced with rapper D-Baby spilling some tea of his own. In the video, DaBaby talked about a time when he was invited to Diddy's house for what seemed like a very private meeting. According to him, Beyoncé was there too, and a whole situation got a little weird. He claimed that Beyoncé introduced herself in a way that made it seem like she might have been interested in more than just a friendly chat. DaBaby even hinted that things could have turned into one of Diddy's infamous freak-offs, especially since Diddy had cleared the room, leaving only a few people behind, including Jay-Z, Beyoncé, and DaBaby. He went on to say that Diddy seemed to take a particular liking to him and even got a bit touchy. The baby described how Diddy put his arm around him in a way that made him feel uncomfortable, but he didn't go into too much detail beyond that. Whether this was just an awkward party moment or something more, it definitely raised a few eyebrows, especially considering all the other stories that have been coming out about Diddy's parties. With all these rumors swirling, it's no wonder people are speculating that Beyoncé could be the other person in the alleged tape with Diddy. The idea that she could have been caught up in something like this is shocking, particularly given her carefully crafted public image. However, there is no hard evidence linking her to any of this, just speculation at this point. Still, the fact that these rumors have gained so much traction is a testament to how powerful and damaging gossip can be, especially in the age of social media. While the internet has been on fire with these rumors, it's important to remember that these are all just allegations. Until concrete evidence surfaces, everything should be taken with a grain of salt. But if this tape does exist and gets released, it could change everything. The public reaction could be massive, and the fallout for those involved could be severe. For now, Diddy continues to face mounting legal troubles. His name has been dragged through the mud in recent months, and the latest lawsuit against him is just one of many that have surfaced. As more details come out, it's becoming harder for him to maintain his public persona as a successful mogul who can do no wrong. The accusations against him are serious and paint a very different picture of the man who has long been a fixture in the entertainment world. As for Beyoncé, her name being linked to these scandals is definitely a blow to her image. She has always been careful about keeping her personal life private, and her relationship with Jay-Z has been under public scrutiny for years. The idea that she could be tied to something as sordid as this tape is shocking to many of her fans, who have long seen her as a role model. Whether these rumors are true or not, they're already starting to cause damage. It remains to be seen how she and her team will respond.
The Grammy goes to Lizzo for About Damn Time.
Huh?
She knows.
Beyonce, whoo!
She knows.
You changed my life. You sang that gospel medley, and the way you made me feel, I was like, I want to make people feel this way with my music. So thank you so much. You clearly are the artist of our lives.
Hey, artist of my life is Beyoncé in this album for me. Appreciate that. And all us artists here, we fucking adore you. You are our lights. And I love you. I always have, and I always will.
But Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time.
And that's not all about Beyoncé, by the way. Now that there's a target on her back, people have started doing the research. What they're finding out is horrifying. There's a hierarchy in Hollywood, and you're not supposed to cross certain people. Every woman who won a Grammy tried to protect herself from Beyoncé. Y'all remember when Kanye jumped in that one time Taylor Swift didn't thank Beyoncé for her Grammy? Yeah, it turns out he was just trying to save that poor white girl from the underworld. But back to the situation involving Diddy and the possibility of a tape of Beyoncé. It isn't just the usual tabloid fodder. It's a story with the potential to shake up the industry in a big way. If this tape gets out, it could spell disaster for everyone involved, and the public's reaction will be something to watch. As of now, all we can do is wait. The rumors are flying, the allegations are piling up, and the world is watching to see what happens next. Will the tape ever see the light of day? Only time will tell.